Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Cloud. There we go. We're live.
Okay, we're live. I started a timer for 15 minutes. That's how long our intro is going to be.
Is it gonna?
No, I think it's some nice song, so I doubt Zoom will even have it in there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Um,
we're live. We're back. Back
we're
from a break.
back. Well, Ryan's back from a break. I've still
You
been
had a
working
break
this
from
whole
the
time.
podcast for 2 weeks.
I had a break from you. I
Yeah. We all had a break.
Yeah.
Back to it.
I someday Ryan is going to agree to do seasons, and so we can have like a month off. When
Yeah.
he gets
Obviously, it takes me a long time to get swayed by ideas. I have to trial run it. I have to get little bits and see how it feels. Because I don't know. It's like I don't. It's like relating it to the vacation. Like I haven't been on the rowing machine for like 2.5 weeks since I've been gone,
hmm
and I'm like, I don't want to go back to doing that. So I'm like, if we just do like batches of it, it's not gonna. I don't know. It's gonna feel like I'm dragging myself to the think about topics, or maybe I'll just have a ton of topics to think about, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm ready to talk.
Right. I was telling somebody recently while I was bitching about the podcast, which I do on a regular basis, about the fact that we never have breaks, that I really got the short end of the stick on the whole make sure you have quality friends situations because you're like the highest quality of friend, and like then you
Keep
push
that
me
standard
harder.
high.
Yeah, it's really infuriating. I don't like
I
it.
set a bar. I've given you outs. I've given you like, hey, I can interview this person without you, and you're like, no, I want to be there. I'm like, all right, you chose this.
I
I
know
gave you
I
the
have taken
opportunity.
some of the outs. I have taken some of the outs, but not all of them. I still do feel bad about that. Like, not, but I just want
Yeah,
you to know that I'm here because I love you.
that's great. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, you're obviously enjoyable to do this with, so it's like,
Yeah,
would it in both ways? Like you're saying, would it have gone on this long if it wasn't for me? But like on the flip side, would I have been doing this long if it wasn't for you? So it goes
that's
both
fair.
ways.
And I do think about like, we've been doing it for 6 years in August.
I always lose track of the years. I always feel like it's you're overstating it and I'm like understating it. I was gonna say like 3 or 4. It's obviously not 3 or 4. It's like
Fuck,
more.
it might be 7 years in August. Is it 6 or 7? He's gonna look it up. But anyway, um, and
Episode 1 was August 22nd of 2019.
okay, so 6 years in August, and the fact that we as friends have been talking almost every single week for 6 years, and much before that, but consistently for 6 years, I feel like has just made our friendship stronger. So I feel like obviously
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously. And if nobody listened, we'd probably still do it. But also I'm proud of us for starting, we started without making any money, actually putting our own money in.
Hmm.
And now we're to a point like
It's paying us and
it's
we are
paying us.
it's reliable like income to
Yeah.
account for and be like, hey,
Yeah.
this is
And
part of what I expect to get in return from the time I'm doing this.
yeah, and I never thought I would have said like I can see ourselves getting to a point where like it pays enough where I'm like, holy shit, that's like a significant portion of my bills. And I finally like see that.
Yeah.
So
Slow and steady.
slow and steady, we're the fucking tortoises of the
Yeah.
podcast world. Wow,
Yep.
are we tortoises?
Keep it going. Um, yeah, I was also I was thinking about recently about the amount of insight and just like business, not like obviously there's a lot of selfish reasons to be asking questions to people that we talk to and just talking to you. I'm able to like think things out with another person that's not
Yeah.
just rallying around in my head. And a lot of times I won't go that deep down the path of questions and I can just find out from other people like, hey, you've done this thing. Can I just pick your brain for like 30 minutes or 2 hours or
Right.
whatever? And like the amount of business knowledge and everything that I've gained from just talking to other people and then humility to be like, hey, like we're not so big of a community that um like it's big, but it's also small. Like you can,
Yeah.
we're all just normal people doing the thing, making the work and figuring things out and all of us are in different time periods, but we're all still learning from one another. So, there's always
Yeah.
something else to gain from everybody, like no matter who you talk to. So,
For sure. Would you like to share 4 minutes of your anniversary trip, or would you like me to share 4 minutes?
ooh, I'll share. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. We went to Hawaii. It was our second time there. Rachel was there 10 years ago when we just got married. It wasn't for our honeymoon, but she was there when she started her flight attendant training. She was there for 6 weeks, but we were there for 10 days this time. Um, I visited her for a week back then. So I got a little bit of Oahu exposure before, which is the biggest,
Mm-hmm.
the Oahu, Honolulu. It's kind of the most populated island, I think.
Yeah.
Most like city like. So, um, we visited Oahu this time, and then we also went to Kauai, which is a slightly smaller island. I don't know in relation to the other ones, but it's a different one that neither one of us had been to before, so that was fun. And we were there for 10 days. We kind of split it between them. Rachel's parents actually joined us for 7 days of it, so we had some overlap kind of at the end of the trip because we were on the other island for half of it. And that was good. We had to, figure out like where we wanted to go. Rachel was excited to like show, hey, we should go to this, this udon place that we like to get at dinner, and then we get some like seafood and go walk the beach and go like find different spots. Um, so that was good. We did some hiking. My favorite place on the whole trip, I think, was the hike that we did at. It's called Queen's Bath, which is it's got kind of a natural body of water that the waves come in off of the
Mm-hmm.
shoreline, and then it creates like a little area that the seawater is in, so you can swim in it, and it's
Yeah.
all covered by volcanic rock. So it's not like smooth rock, it's just like a bunch of rocks that are stacked like on the edge of
Yeah.
the water, and it's like really crazy waves. And then there's just these like areas where there's little like bays almost, but it's like pretty crazy waves in some of them. And then there's areas that are like really chill and the water's the water's really like calming. You can swim in it. You can like jump off the rocks into it. And that was probably my favorite. And it's like pretty expansive. So we saw a lot of sea turtles there, which was nice. I feel like people sometimes said they see like dolphins and things. I didn't really see any dolphins, but that was probably my favorite spot. That was on Kauai and did Airbnbs. We did hotel and Waikiki on Oahu. So that was like more city, kind of walking around. We did have a rental car for the period that her parents were there, but did a little bussing around. We did a couple hikes before they got there. And then I did like a little, so I was curious doing the workshops and stuff recently. I kind of had some ideas in my brain of like forms I wanted to try, and I hadn't had a lot of time in the studio to work on them. And I feel like normally I don't prioritize doing new things in the studio. So I was like, maybe I could reach out to some local studios and see if I can like come in for a day and just get the studio to myself a little bit, or I don't really want to like take a class or a workshop, but I just want like studio time. So I reached out to a couple, and Susan from Hawaii Ceramic Supply, thank you, Susan, was like, yeah, come on over. So that was in Honolulu. It's kind of near the airport area. They have glazes, clays, firing. They do have some smaller classes. It's not a very big studio. It's more like a supply shop, and then they have
They have things,
room for
yeah.
like six or so students in the wheel room and 6 to 8 in the hand building room. So it's not like a massive place. It's a newer spot. And she actually runs it as her like second full-time job. Like she has a full-time job. It's kind of cool because it's like a shared building with a print shop and she works full-time for the print shop that's kind of on the same
Oh,
floor and
that's
everything.
cool.
So I don't know how she lucked out to like get it in that location, which is awesome because it's like working from home essentially and you can like bounce over if you need to, but she has some
Yeah.
staff that helps out. And it was nice like chatting with her, talking shop. So she gave me access. All I had to pay was like I paid $50 for access for 2 days. I pretty much had the studio to
Wow.
myself the entire time on both days, and I was just like, I just want reclaimed clay. I don't really plan on firing anything or keeping anything. And then at the end, she was like, if you do want to keep something, like let me know. We can fire it and ship it back to you, bisque. So I did decide I'm gonna keep three things that I actually hand built. I did some kintsugi, no, not kintsugi, karanuki,
Where you chop it
the
off.
tea, yeah, the tea bowl. So it's like a solid. Usually, you start with like a solid block and you carve away the clay
Mm-hmm.
to get a solid form. So um, I did that back in college, and then I did a workshop with um, Sue from one of the people that did workshop with Sephora back. I think it was this year, and I watched one of that to kind of like reinvigorate. Like, hey, I want to try this again. So I was able to do that. I'll get those bisque fired shipped back to me. And that was a fun little experience to spend some time. And then Rachel and her parents went off and did some different things those days. So it's pretty nice for sure. Beach time, got a little sun. Can you tell I got sun? Do I look tanner?
Mm-hmm.
Got a little sun. Um,
So proud.
so yeah, we're not usually like all right, we're going to the beach and we're just gonna sit out there for 5 hours, you know.
That's definitely my MO.
Yeah, but the time difference is 6 hours from East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So getting there, our clocks are all messed up, but we were like getting up at 6 in the morning and it kind of
Yeah.
tailed off as we got through the 10 days, but it's kind of nice. You get out there and get going before it gets hot and go to the bakery, get a croissant and walk the beach a little bit.
Croissant.
Croissant, chocolate
Yeah.
croissant. Oh, so good. Um, it's expensive there. I was kind of comparing it to it feels like you go to the airport and everything's overpriced. It's basically like everything is like your airport prices.
Yeah.
Is kind of what you should expect.
Yeah.
So definitely not cheap, but
Mm-mm.
enjoyable. And yeah, we'll probably I mean, I don't know the next time we'll go back. I don't know if we'll go back again for our 10 years from
20.
now. And then we'll do different. I
Yeah.
think the next time we're gonna do like the Big Island and Maui. So we'll kind of do different ones, but
I want to
Rachel
go.
really loves it there, and we did some tiki bars too. So the tiki bars were great as well.
I feel like we should go on a thruple vacation.
Because
I
you
always
haven't gone to
tell
Hawaii or Alaska, right?
Hawaii is one of the places I haven't been to. Alaska. Yeah, Hawaii and Alaska are the only ones that I haven't been to.
I mean, you got to take
Um,
advantage of that Alaska Air flight
I know. I
benefits
know.
if you can.
I know. Um,
They had some Alaska flights that flew from Seattle to
I know.
directly. Yeah.
I
There was
know.
somebody that said they took direct flights from Boston to
Oh, fuck
Hawaii. I
that
was
shit.
like, oh my God. It was like 11
Oh,
hours. I was like, oh my
no, thank
God.
you.
8 hours was enough.
Um, I've always been very like weary about going to Hawaii just because I don't know. I just hate going to places that are so touristy.
It wasn't
Mostly,
touristy on the Kauai.
yeah, that's good.
Honolulu, there was a lot of tourists. Like if you're in
And
Waikiki,
there's
like
like,
downtown area, it feels weird
yeah,
because all
yeah,
you see are a bunch of tourists. It's like there's like 90% of
yeah.
the people you interact with are tourists, and you're like, this feels weird, but
This feels weird. Yeah, I'm just like not, um, I'm just not cut out for going to places that don't want people there, but also need people there.
hmm.
Like,
I mean, I don't think there was anybody that was like rude. I don't feel like I
yeah,
interacted with anybody that was rude, but it did feel a little. it feels a little weird when you're walking at Waikiki and everybody's a tourist. You're walking around and you're like,
Yeah.
the service people for the restaurant or the hotels and everything are all like there to serve the tourists, and it feels a little bit
Yeah, that feels weird. Yeah, for
feels a little
sure.
little weird, but yeah, we were definitely like we're not going to Maui. Like they're still recovering and stuff from fires,
Yeah.
and I don't feel. I mean, you don't know. Like they could need that attention
Yeah,
and
you
tourism,
it's
so
such
it's kind of
a
like a
it's a
balance.
catch-22 situation where it's like, well, their entire a lot of the times their entire economy thrives on tourism. But like as somebody who's spent a lot of time in a tourist town, you hate the fucking tourists, you
Hmm.
know? So it's like, what do you do? But yeah. So,
Yeah, the one thing was like we went to like a swap meet thing at the
mhm.
Aloha Stadium, and like there is so much just wholesale stuff there, and I'm like, I want to get out of this area. Like it's all just wholesale, like it's bought overseas
Yeah.
and sold, and I'm like, I don't want like this tourist stuff that's
Yeah.
like you buy the thing that says Hawaii on it, and it's not supporting anyone. I mean, it's supporting the person local that's selling it, but it's like it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it has any like soul to it.
Agreed. Yeah,
So I'm
that's dumb.
like, I don't really like. I didn't remember that the whole place was like this before, but
Yeah.
had some good
Well,
mangoes
you
there at the farmers market though. That was fun. We went to a farmers market on Kauai, and it was like a local farmers
Oh,
market. It
yeah, I
was,
saw
and
that.
then they had a mini golf course, and there was a local potter there. Flex Pottery, I think was his business.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the island, and that was fun. So Rachel got some sugar cane
Oh,
juice,
yeah.
which was pretty good. It had like passion fruit added to it. So fruit,
Yum.
spectacular.
Fruit spectacular. You took my 4 minutes too, so I'm gonna
Was that
add
4 minutes?
four
Was that
minutes.
8 minutes?
Dude, that was like fucking 10 minutes.
All right, go.
Um,
Sorry.
what was I gonna say? I just have something really quick because I know my father will never listen to this, so I feel comfortable saying this. Uh, for his 70th birthday, I don't know if I mentioned it to Tim or not. Like, I took a picture of my dad at Christmas time and Tim Kowalczyk, Cardboard Tim.
Oh,
Uh, I should probably tell him that I'm telling this story so he knows, but it's all good things about Tim. He was like, "Your dad is adorable." And I was like, "You have no idea." Him and my uncle talk to each other on the phone when they're like, I've told this story. Like they talk to each
hmm,
other even though they're literally a floor apart on the phone and like have full conversations.
right. Because your
And
uncle lives underneath
yeah,
in the like the basement
yeah.
apartment of the
And
house.
like
Yeah.
it's not like they don't ever see each other. Like my uncle comes up for dinner every single night. And and so I was like, yeah, it's like they're talking on those like a tin can with the string. And Tim
Mhm.
was like, I'm making them a tin can. I'm making them tin cans. So he made me two tin cans that look like just like those shitty old tin cans that we used to
Mhm.
have when we were kids. And I had him ship them to me. I've got them and I'm gonna tape string to the bottom of them. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about having my sister string it down to the basement, but I don't think it works out
Say,
as
how
far
long is
as
this string gonna have to be?
yeah, exactly. I don't know how it works out. But I might just tape string to it and like cut it off, and so that my dad can have one and my uncle can have one. And
Hmm.
Tim was just like, like I love this idea, and
That's great.
yeah. So I got those this last week, and I'm pretty stoked to send them to him. And he was supposed to be for his birthday, but he was a little late, which is totally fine. I can't even believe he did it anyway. Like, he's awesome for doing it regardless. So
That's
I'm
sweet.
pretty, yeah, I love that. I'm so excited. And I told him I'd have my mom like videotape it when he opens it.
Is he gonna like get it, or is he just gonna be like, "Oh, this is just a
No,
can"?
no, he's not gonna get it. But, but, that's why I had him ship him to me because I was gonna write a little note in it and
Hmm.
tell him why. He'll love that, and like him and my uncle are both of that era. My uncle's like
Yeah.
81 and my dad's 70, so they're of the like tin can era, so I think they'll really enjoy it.
Have you ever actually tried that? I've never tried it.
Oh yeah, we used to do it when I was a kid all the time.
Like, does it actually
Yeah.
like work?
I think that you have to have a hole in it and then tie
Right.
it.
And then it
The
does it have to be
ones
pulled
that
really tight? Like it has to have tension on it,
yeah, it
right?
has to have tension. Yeah. The ones that he made me don't have holes in them. I think we chose not to. Like I know he asked
Right. You
me.
want him to be able to use it,
Yeah.
maybe.
So, I was like, we'll just tape a string to it. But yeah, so yeah, I've done it. It works. Not the best, but it works. So,
Hmm. It's got
but
to be
yeah,
far enough that you can't actually hear what they're saying,
right.
like
Yeah.
without the can, so you
Yeah.
can test to see if it actually does anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. Okay, now that we've gone over our allotted time by 5 minutes, we are going to,
We got to talk about our friends at L&L.
yeah. Do you know what was the best thing that actually something else that happened this week about my kiln that was so freaking great?
What's that?
There's this guy in town, Scooter. He's the guy who actually was the one who told Preston about me, about my Facebook post, and that's who connected me and Preston.
Uh-huh.
And he messaged me, and I was out of town. I think I was in Atlanta or something. I don't know. But he was like, "Hey, do you guys have any room in the kilns? I just need to like decal fire like 3 mugs." And I was like, "No, but my kiln is at the studio, and I'll be there tomorrow." And he's like, okay, well, I don't know when I can meet you. And I was like, it's fine. So I just like rolled the kiln outside, put it out back, and he picked it up, took it home, fired his decal firing, and then brought it back and dropped it off. And it was like a
Oh, he actually
clean,
took it home.
yeah.
I thought he was just gonna, drop it off, load it up, start it, and
Well,
come back and
see,
get it.
that's the thing. Like I don't know if he lives, I think he lives like 20 minutes away.
Mm.
And so, but that's the coolest thing about the plug-in fire is that like the ability to be like, oh no, just pick it up. It's like 25,
Yeah.
I think it's 50 pounds, but it's like no problem just throwing it in the back of the car, taking it home, firing it up, and then bringing it back. And it's 120, so you don't have to
Right.
worry about it. And like I was like, "Have you ever used a fancy controller?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, call me if you need it. Any questions?" And he didn't. He figured it out and like it was the I mean, yes, he's had kiln experience, but it was like the cleanest, most here
Yeah.
you go, don't break it, bye
Right.
situation. And I couldn't do that with any other kiln. I could never have done that with my old little
Yeah,
kiln
you
either
can't just
because
be
the
like,
the
"Hey, just
buttons.
come pick up my kiln and then bring it back on Monday."
Yeah, exactly. And like I got back and it was right in the spot that it was already. And so I think that just is more of a testament to how great this kiln is. And you think about other kilns that size and you're like, well, you could do that with other kilns. Yeah, yeah, you could, but I can't tell you how many times I've had to explain how to program on the
Mhm.
3 button controllers. They're so difficult to figure out.
Yeah, it's nice to
And
have a screen to actually
yeah,
reinforce your confidence of like, okay, I'm really confident that this is doing what I think it's going to do. You don't have to
right.
cycle back through. I mean, I do that with my digital controller that's not the Genesis. Like, I cycle back through,
Yeah,
it's like, did I do something wrong? Because I don't want to fuck this up.
exactly. Yeah, and then like because it's got the element channels and because it's in 2 parts, I feel no pressure just like having somebody picking it up,
Hmm.
and not messing it up. So
Right.
yeah, it was
Nice.
pretty great.
L&L plug-in fire. There you go. I got my kiln's loaded up. I got to fire it soon with bisqueware or with greenware in it. And then we've been glazing up quite a bit. I got some shows coming up, so we'll be yeah, we'll be glaze firing here soon too. So busy week in the studio. I got a soda workshop this weekend, but even got my L&L outside, my kiln body outside for the soda kiln that's getting fired. So
Yeah, he's just L&L'd up.
L&L everywhere. All right, so if you want to look up the plug and fire, look up some of the, other options of kilns available. Where do you go, Becca?
hotkills.com. Yes, yes.
There we go. All right, let's go to Maker of the Moment.
Oh, yes.
Do you have yours handy or do you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, I can do mine. Well, so my maker of the moment is one of my new friends out here, and her name is Jeanette. Uh, and she's got like a French name, but she's from South Africa. So her name is Jeanette LaRue Ceramics. That's JeaNettE underscore LEROUX underscore ceramics. It's a lot. But so I met her when, well, I'd seen some of her stuff at the studio and had never met her, but I remember thinking like, she like threw this beautiful pot and then did really simple paintbrush strokes on it. And somebody was like, yeah, she's from South Africa. And I was like, God damn it. Everybody from South Africa has good style. Anybody that is from South Africa or regular Africa has great style. And and she is no exception. So she has been doing these sardine cups. Did you get it or do you want me to find it?
I found it, yeah. I
So
love
she's
it.
been doing these soda-fired sardine cups. And I know that the sardines kind of come from her like South African roots and stuff like that, but they are so fucking cute. I can't handle it. Every time I see something sardine, I have to send it to her. She is a super cat mom, and she does the she like hand cuts all the paper and then puts it on and then puts slip over it.
What? She's
So
hand
they're
cutting that?
yeah, so they're all like a little bit different. And
Oh, I figured she was using a vinyl
no.
cutter, a Cricut or something like that.
I don't think so. No, yeah, she's like hand cutting it. And she's got like beautiful forms and just beautiful like I was there for a wood firing that her and then another friend that I'm going to share next week did. And we had like a little fish fry um I have like one of her little candle holders and just her shapes and her precision is so good. Uh, this one, did you see that? That shape to me is just like the most beautiful.
Oh, I
If
like
you
that.
scroll down, there's some like green ones with polka dots and like green shapes, and they're just so good. And just, I don't know, everything that
Ooh.
she's doing is just, it's just
Great
fucking
attention to
good.
just form,
Yeah.
simplicity, little
It's just,
design
yeah,
elements that
like,
aren't too, it's not too much.
yeah, it's not too much. It's like just enough, you know?
Hmm.
And she's doing a lot of soda work and stuff like that, but it's just and she's just a fucking lovely human being on
Hmm.
top of everything. She's just so lovely. And she's a cat mom. She loves cats.
I like the little cups with the cat faces on it. Those are cute.
I know. And
Or
like
mugs with
I
the cat faces. Cute.
I have one of the little flower ones. Yeah, she's got a lot going for her. And I can't wait to see what else she does, you know?
Whew, man, I am
She's
lost in these atmospheric pieces. So nice.
I know. And
Whew.
like she's done a lot of different styles and stuff, which I appreciate. Um it's one of those things where you can definitely see like the evolution of style, which I love. So, did you see the banana cup down there? The banana planter?
I did not. I guess I gotta keep scrolling here.
If you scroll way down, there's a banana planter and it's so good. Anyway, so let me get over
See
to
a
Wheel
little
Talk.
banana mug.
Yeah, yeah, that one. Nanner. Um,
Nice. Yeah, that's cute.
yes. So she is, I'm just, yeah, loving her stuff right now and can't wait to see what else she does.
Yeah, I love the contrast of the colors and the newer stuff she's been doing with the sardines and the yeah, just the slip with the darker clay in the back. Oh, so good. And you're
It's
like,
so good.
"Oh man, that's gonna get atmospheric fired. It's gonna look amazing."
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Love it, love it. All right, so Jeanette out of North Carolina. All right, mine is Bean and Bailey Ceramics. So
Bean?
Bean
Oh, I see it.
and
Okay.
Bailey Ceramics. So she's out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, you
Got
have one of her mugs.
I got
Okay.
one of her mugs a while ago. I think I got it when we were touring. I think I got it in Memphis, maybe. Or maybe I got it
Okay.
online. Maybe I got it online. But she's out of Chattanooga and a lot of bright colors. She had the mug that I have is slip cast and it's got little alterations where like it's angled a little bit on the foot. It's not like perfectly I don't know what you would call it. It looks like if it's sitting flat, it's kind of slanted a little bit where it looks like it's a little askew, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
intentional because it's slip cast and then the rim is not like perfectly level and then the handle's really fun. So, her newer stuff actually, she's been experimenting. She kind of fell off for a little bit and wasn't making for a bit and then she kind of came back to it after a while. So, she was on a little hiatus for maybe I don't know, that was 7 weeks and then January. So she kind of went on a little hiatus for 4 months or so, but she's kind of getting back to doing some different things. I don't know. Maybe that is Slipcast. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to find like the perfect picture. She has so many good ones. Oh,
Hmm. Oh, I was reading her update of what it says. Past 2 years, I was working full time as a paralegal with Amazing Group. Grateful for the experience. Turns out I'm not meant to work in an office. For
it's
the summer,
facts.
I'll be back in my backyard studio shed full time. So yeah, interesting. Like, yeah, people drop off. You don't know, like, with social media, people fall in and out all the time. You don't know what's going on. I mean, a lot of us don't know most of them personally, so you're just like, oh, like something must have came up, and then people just make big life decisions always going on. So, no matter how much you're like, oh man, I love their stuff and they have a great business. There's tons of people out there that want that work. You're like, at the end of the day, however they're balancing it out, you can completely shift gears and not make anything for a while and come back to it and make something different or, stick with your tried and true and keep going with
Yeah.
it. It's kind of interesting to see the ebbs and flows when that kind of stuff happens. So that's
Yeah.
Bean and Bailey.
Can I tell you something funny that happened really quick today at work? Not
Sure.
funny, but I feel like you'll appreciate this. Um, the my boss, Christy, she's like not my manager, but my manager's manager. She's over the whole floor of operations. And she like came up and was giving somebody a tour and she goes, "Yeah, this is Becca. She kind of," and I was working in the Barrens, which I've been trying to stay in because I like them.
The
And she's,
Barons? Is that a
yeah, it's like
uh
what it's like you push down and like make sure
oh,
everything
okay,
is,
for
yeah,
printmaking to
for printmaking.
okay.
And nobody likes that job and I like
It
it.
sounds like it'd be hard on your wrist, but I don't know what you're doing. Are
Well,
you
to
assembling them?
push, we're assembling them.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, "Yeah, she just apparently likes to do this and nobody likes to do this, but Becca likes to do it." And I was like, "What can I say? I like to do things over and over." And she's like, "You're crazy." And so yeah, but
The
I
satisfaction of getting a lot of
yeah.
things done.
Yeah, like nobody was getting rate at that like one particular one. And I was like, keep me here for a week. And so they kept me there for a week and I got up to 98%.
Oh, is that your quota? Like nobody was hitting the 100% quota that you
Yeah.
were expected to hit?
Yeah, they were hitting like 60%,
Oh my
70%.
gosh.
Yeah, they were it's like 50 in an hour and people were getting like 30 to 45 tops, like 30 to 40. And I was like, keep me here. And then I wrote an entire email explaining why the machine sucks. And like
Okay.
not why it sucks, but like, it's semi-dangerous. They're making a whole new one. And so I
Hmm.
was like, I have thoughts. And so I wrote an
How
entire
it could
email
be
and I was like,
improved. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, when you do
just
something enough, you find efficiencies and you're like, here's how it could be better. And if
yeah,
you're throwing a pot, you can do the efficiencies yourself, but if
yeah.
you're working within the confines of a machine and what can and can't be done, then
Yeah. And like the machine doesn't suck. It's just like it was made in like 1990 or something like that.
right.
So it's got some, some safety issues that needs to be hashed out and some other stuff. But I don't know if they like I was like, "Hi, this is what you hired. This is me."
Yeah.
Like
This is what
I
you're gonna
didn't
get.
yeah, and then like immediately my boss was like, "So, you remember you did that with this machine? We're gonna take you to another machine and if you could let us know
Yeah.
what's wrong with that one." And I was like, "What the fuck did I just do?" Like
I'll be your quality assurance consultant
yeah.
for the
And
day.
I like mentioned it. I was like, next email is going to be $50.
Seriously. Whew.
Yeah. Anyway, I
All
just thought
right,
you'd
so that's
appreciate that.
yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, so that's our maker of the moment. Check those out on Instagram. We got them tagged in our highlights. For it was Jessie Bailey is her name. So Jessie Bailey and Jeanette. So check them
Yep,
out.
I just put him in the highlights.
All right. So we got a quick listener question, which is coming in from oh my gosh, uh Janet.
Jello.
Jello
Jello.
Designs. I was like, oh my gosh, is Janet her name? I was like spacing for a second. I was like, oh no, did I forget her name? Janet from Jello Designs. So she was asking, I would love to hear your thoughts on SEO. So SEO, for people that don't know, is search engine optimization.
Becca
Specifically,
didn't
how
know
did
that.
search engine optimization? Specifically, how do you guys come up to speed on it? Resources you use or have used, etc. So because it is such a big topic, I'm gonna actually kick the ball to somebody else that has talked about it. So and people that are talking about it. So the community where the Maker's Playbook from Rebecca at Maker's Playbook, they just did a masterclass about Etsy SEO, and then they also just did some other learnings about SEO for websites. So I'm gonna suggest going over to the community or reaching out to them and seeing what they've learned from it. And you can commit. I did ask if you could buy it one off, but I think you have to buy a membership to the community, which if you can't afford it, get in there for a month, get it, see if you can afford it, see if you're getting a lot of value. If you can't afford it, hop out, you can hop in, hop out. But yeah, head over there. They've been talking about it. I've talked to Jessica that did it for the website one, and she said she got a lot of value for her website SEO. So it is a huge topic. There's so much to know. I've worked in web development and like marketing for years in my career, and there's a lot there. So um, it's hard to like siphon it down to just here's the five things you should start with. So we'll start there, and then the other one that I wanted to call out, Etsy. If you're on Etsy, Etsy actually just did a sellers event called Etsio, so ETSEO. They called it Etsio or yeah, Etsio. That's how you say it. So I'll put a link in the description down below with the recording from that most recent one that they did this spring, and you can check that out. They talk because Rachel listened to that. They were talking about, titles, some of the keywords that you should have, some of your descriptions, a little bit about your images and things like that. But it was more specific to Etsy, obviously, and then you can kind of relate it to your website as well, just thinking about what kind of things people are searching for and kind of getting in the shoes of your buyers, and it should help you out. So check those out. The Maker's Playbook, you should know Rebecca if you don't already, the Maker's Playbook, and you can find her on Instagram. You can find her website from there. And yeah, uh, Jello Designs. Thank you for the question. Go check them out.
Jello, Jello.
Jello. All right, that's our quick listener question, and then we have an announcement actually.
Do we?
Becca, what's our announcement? Fresh
Man, I
off
have to
the press.
cough.
This is like wet ink.
This is I'm
She can't even talk. She's coughing over
I'm
there.
coughing up a lung. This is like the most freshest ink.
I'm gonna take a
Ugh.
drink as well. Jeez.
Yeah, wow. Um, well, we just so happen to have a new sponsor, and you're gonna have to talk because I'm dying.
Pew, 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 pew. I don't have a little button to hit for that, but
Ring, ling, ling.
yeah, so we have a new sponsor that just signed up with us for a short time. We'll see how they feel about it and if they want to continue or not. But it actually overlaps a lot with the products that we already promote because a lot of times we talk about Speedball, we talk about LNL, and a lot of these products aren't sold directly from those suppliers and they work with distributors a lot. So this is one of those distributors that happen to sell a lot of the products that we talk about as well as a number of other products. So we are talking about the Ceramic Shop. So thank you
The
so much.
ceramic shop.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we got to figure out a little jingle. Is that going to be it?
I'm working on it.
The
Yeah.
Ceramic Shop. So the Ceramic Shop joined on. They sell a number of different products. They've got glazes, they got tools, they got supplies, they got kilns, obviously. They got support on their site. So a big range of products available over there. Um, we're not going to cover all of it, but like, everything that you can want. Shop online. They're out of Pennsylvania
Mm-hmm.
and they got everything. So if you're looking, I was just looking. Oh, they even have Kentucky Mud Works clays. I was like, I wonder if they have like some of the clays I have. So got clay, glazes, tools, kilns. If you need like elements or all that stuff. They even have dry materials on there. Nice.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. It's a one-stop shop. The ceramic shop.
That was quick. That was quick.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
All right. They also gave us a little discount code. So we've
Woo!
been wanting this from some different supply sponsors for a while, and we got this like unprompted. We didn't even ask for it. They were like, "Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
give your listeners this." So if you want to save a few bucks, they do have discounts going on the website all the time. I was looking on there today because I was like, oh, I wonder like what they were promoting L&L kilns and they even have free shipping on their L&L kilns.
Mm,
So if you decide you want a kiln, maybe you want to get a plug-in fire and they're discounted. So like there's a number of different discounts that are always on there. Well, I don't know if they're always on there, but like right now the plug-in fire is 23% off.
I think they have one
Special
of the
offer.
best. I'm pretty sure it's the best price on the market from.
So So I know some of y'all have been asking like, "Hey, can we get a discount code? Do you have like a special code for this thing?" Like you do have code. And Becca, do you know what the code is? Do you remember what the code is?
It's Wheel Talk
Wheel Talk 10.
10. It's Wheel Talk 10.
And that is going to save you $10 on your order of 75 bucks or more.
Hell yeah.
So we'll have the promo code in the episode description down below. You can look for it. Go to the website, shop whatever you want to get, put that code in at checkout. It's going to tell them, hey, we heard about you on Wheel Talk. It's going to give us a little bit of bump. It's going to, give them a reason to maybe want to stick with us as a sponsor. So, um, if you want to get some speedball glazes or underglazes or, your everyday tools and things like that, you need to restock on some things. You can go there, use that code, save a few bucks. I did see their glazes were discounted too, like the mid-fire glazes, Speedball 10% off to 25% off. So yeah,
Hell
they got
yeah.
they got some different discounts going on. So
And
she
I
is
can
dying over
confirm.
there.
I don't know what's going on. I can confirm that they are $50 cheaper than another online company for the plug and fire.
Oh,
So
really? Because they actually increase plug-in fires, I think, increased recently.
all kilns increased, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything increased.
everything goes up a little bit. So shop over there, get your supplies. Um, yeah, check them out. Put the code in there. Let us know if you get something. If you want to tag it, if you get something, you end up saving some money. Maybe tag us. Maybe tag them. We
Yeah.
saw them at Ensika. They had an amazing booth over there. I remember stopping by. It was yeah, it was a nice big booth. I don't. I think I, I'm trying to remember if I had a quick chat with one of them. I think I might have, but yeah, they had a great spot at Ensika this year in Salt Lake.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
It's your one-stop shop. TheCeramicShop.com.
.com. There you go. All right,
And
the
you want to
ceramic
put
shop,
it's TheCeramicShop.com.
theceramicshop.com. Yes. All right, moving on. We got a topic for the day, and it came from a listener question. And I've been thinking about it a little bit recently, kind of related to this. So this comes from Sean Reed Pottery. It reads, Hey Becca and Ryan, I really enjoy the Maker of the Moment Spotlight. It's such a nice way to highlight potters in the community. I was thinking maybe a future episode or feature could explore how potters develop their voice and aesthetic, especially online. As a potter, I'm currently in the posting my work and hoping the algorithm is feeling generous. Just trying to keep, just trying to figure out how to share my story and style without overthinking every caption. Just a thought from someone elbow deep in clay and Instagram drafts. Me too, for sure. Keeping the podcast coming. Keep the podcast coming. There's such a great companion in the studio. Cheers, Sean. So that's from Sean Reed Pottery. Thank you, Sean, for that question. As Becca is getting something to help with her coughing issues
I hope that gum will help. I'm hoping that gum will help.
and a little moisture.
Yeah.
All right, so I was kind of using this as a opportunity to kind of talk about maybe how we decide what to post online, maybe a little bit of like what our goals are with what we want from our feeds, whether we're talking about stories or posting or reels, and if there's any differences across the platforms that we use. Um, because it is truly unique to the person. Like how, like, are you comfortable with your face in the camera? Are you more about, I want to show my work, my finished work, or do I care to show my process? Or, I like to share about business things. So, there's many different ways you can go about it, and I don't think there's any right or wrong answer necessarily.
Hmm.
But I know recently I've been struggling with just I don't know. I'm reluctant to say burnout, but probably because I don't want to like say that I'm burned out or whatever. But um, just like I don't feel drawn to like want to post as much consistently like I have historically. I used to post like 5 days a
Hmm.
week or something like that. I'm more like, okay, I draw it back. My main goal is I don't want to post two Mug Mondays right back to back. So as long as I have at least two posts a week, I'm like, all right, I'm good. So, try not to put too much stress and pressure on myself to be like, hey, you have to keep up with this quota because it's like there's nobody enforcing the quota on you. It's just like, hey, post what you want. And then, I've kind of drawn a line of like, okay, I want to do at least 2 to 3 a week. And that's kind of where I settled.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely don't post as much as I used to. Um, this is probably the start of silicosis or some shit like that. Anyway, I definitely don't post as much as I used to, but I think that yeah, like having like 2 or 3 posts a week is like ideal for me. When I was like I don't need to right now. I will have to start doing it soon because I want to start making money with pots again. But I think for me, it's more like an outlet. So you have to decide like, do you want to treat it like a job or do you want to treat it like a creative outlet, I think.
Mhm.
And I mean, I guess it could be both, but
Well, you said I want to sell some stuff again, so you're kind of
yeah.
framing that in that way as like it's a marketing tool in
Yeah, it's a
one way.
marketing tool, but I don't necessarily confine myself to how many things I can post or what I can post as long
Hmm.
as that I'm getting that engagement from people. I think that that's the most important part. And to be completely honest, I think both of us have really no idea what it's like to post nowadays with having less than a certain amount of followers because we've surpassed that. Um, but we've both been on Instagram for 10 plus years. So,
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's like I don't think that we can properly compare to like somebody who is, posting regularly and has like 1,000 followers and is trying to like create an audience. But I do think that like the way you started and the way you grew your audience is probably one of the better methods.
As in just doing it consistently for
Yeah, because
about
like you
5 days
did,
a week.
yeah,
Yeah, I was definitely in really I was go 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 mode. I'm trying to remember, but that was also back in the days where it was there's a lot of photos. Like you could balance it out with photos. I think they're kind of getting back to that a little bit these days where
yeah.
you
I think they're
can
getting
post
back to
photos
it.
and carousels and they don't
Yeah,
get they're not sent to the graveyard immediately. They get some visibility, but I think I think I've also just become I don't know. Some people say, "Oh, well, like if you're a really small audience, you can't get any traction." But I think if the content is good enough, I think it can reach a lot of people. But it's
yeah,
also like, what do you want from it? Do you want followers from it, or do you want people that care about your work and want to like buy your work, or do you want people that are like, "That's cool, I want to follow that," and they get grabbed
right,
in from like one really viral reel, you
right.
know? I don't know. I think for me, I've just succumb to there's a lot of things that I'm not going to be able to control. The only thing I can control is what I post, how often I post, and how I engage with folks that are engaging with me. So if they're
Mm-hmm.
commenting on um on reels or pictures or whatever, then I engage with them back, and if they message me or have questions, I engage with them. So,
I think
that's
that's
what I can
probably the most
control.
important thing.
Yeah, just yeah, I don't know how many even if it's just saying thanks. I mean, a lot of times and
Yeah,
it's a little different on it's kind of weird on Facebook though because Facebook Reel like my thing is connected with Facebook Reels again. So my business page posts to Reels, but the comments you get on there are more I need that or something or it's I I don't know, it's a little different like in some of these on Facebook can gain traction a lot longer in the future. Like I posted stuff like 5 months ago and they can still get a little bit of engagement. So like there's still trickles.
yeah,
And it's not as I feel like it used to be more really high at the beginning and then it would ramp off and you would get basically nothing if it's like 2 weeks old. But I think it can have some staying power these days.
hmm,
If it's noticed enough, it can kind of reinvigorate and kind of rekindle that fire a little bit after weeks or months. But I'm not using that as a way to generate sales necessarily. I would say very few of the, well, not very few. I don't know. Probably a minority of the posts are trying to get somebody to buy something, whether it's
sorry.
paying for a soda workshop or buying pots. I don't really post about, hey, I've got an update coming up. I don't really do that, but I do
Yeah,
post about, hey, I got a workshop coming up, or hey, I got soda firing or online workshop or whatever. I do that because I kind of need to, or else I don't have enough attention. But Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot now because even if it's shows, I don't really promote shows on there either because most of the audience isn't local to me.
Right.
But there's also pockets of people that are my local people that do look at my social media because I see them at shows and they're like, "Oh, I follow you on social media. I really like that you're posting your Mug Monday. I really appreciate that. I look forward to that every week." And it's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
like you don't even know these people that come to your show, like they follow you and they see all your stuff." So, there's still people out there and they're going to be way more bought into you coming to a show because they've already got this connection with you in some way.
Yeah.
So I still think it's valuable to put that stuff out there, but like find a balance of, you could cater it all to, hey, I'm doing these shows and you can come see me at these shows. Here's what my booth looks like. But um I don't know. I don't feel like I have like a through line these days of this is what I'm trying to post about and this is my thread of everything that I post. Because I've got some like, here's my show numbers and here's a Mug Monday and here's some pots I unloaded from the kiln and here's a process video. I'm not like doing any one thing over and over and over.
Hmm.
I just I don't know.
Do you know what I think the curse of Instagram nowadays is? He said, uh-huh, but he was actually drinking water. Um, is people just trying way too hard. And like like I don't know. It's one of those things that like kind of like you said, like if you have quality stuff, it comes to you, but also the good things come to those who wait sort of situation really resonates with me with Instagram. Like it took me years to get 10,000 followers. Years. And like,
But you weren't waiting as in not posting. You're saying you post, you post, you post, but
yeah,
you're not tying it to I have a goal of getting to this number
right.
by this time
Yeah.
and you're setting like goals of I can't choose how many people it's going to reach, so I don't
Yeah.
have to the only impact you have is post. Are you posting?
Right. And like there's a generational thing too, like the younger generation that's younger than us is like this is all they know is being famous on Instagram and it's so weird to me that it's just like, well, I have to be famous on Instagram. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. You
Right.
have to make money. That's your first goal. Um, and well, maybe first goal should be you have to make good pots and then you have to make money. But like, I do think that like trying too hard is like it's just a neon fucking badge. It
It comes across very
it
obvious.
just yeah, it comes across too obvious and um I don't know. It's
But I
just
can totally respect somebody like Kurt or
I can
Kenny that are
respect
gonna
it
put the
too.
work in to like edit those videos. I'm like, I know what's involved in making that video. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
exactly because I don't film with all that stuff, but I can imagine the amount of cuts that are involved here, the amount of video. It's probably spent like 2 hours to like edit that thing.
Oh yeah, I can respect the effort. I can respect the effort. What I do have not an issue with, but I'm kind of like ugh, is the while I'm posting so much, why am I not famous yet?
Hmm.
Yet is the term
Yeah.
that really pisses me off. And and and
As if
it's
it's a
kind
quota. You got to hit a quota. And once you hit that
yeah,
quota, you're expecting the results, but
and I think for
just
the
by hitting it.
majority of people becoming quote unquote famous on Instagram is either really fucking hard work or it just fucking happened on accident and you weren't looking for it. And you got like put into this situation. Like you remember the first viral video I got on TikTok?
Was it
There's
the
it
was
was
it
the
you were
handle
throwing a big
pulling one.
pot? Oh, the
No,
handle.
it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
handle pulling one.
Yeah.
It should be noted, I should background this with I started doing the TikTok because I knew I was going to sell the shop. So I thought that if I just did like 1 minute videos on how to do certain things, um,
It'd be
then
teachable to people
it'd
that
be
were
teachable and it would be on the internet and blah blah blah. And then of course I got into like doing stupid shit too. But I just did the stupid video talking about how I was pulling handles or I had to teach a guy how to pull handles in front of his 14-year-old daughter. And it was awkward. And real life event. And then somebody added some stupid fucking sound to it when you could do that, and it was really creepy, and it got like 8 million views. And I remember we had the podcast that night, and then I got fucking piss drunk. I got so fucking drunk, and I was not prepared. It was not something I wanted. It was like just fucking happened. And I had the anxiety I had was out the fucking roof. And it just happened, you know?
And
And
that's
then,
just getting you followers. You probably just got a lot of followers from it. Or did you
yeah,
actually get money? Did you get transactions and
I did.
people supporting you from it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the whole TikTok journey was really wonderful, and it did like help me out financially. But it was just a moment, you know?
Hmm.
Like you have to keep it up. That's the thing, is that an accident can happen. And if you don't have a plan in place to continue said thing or the personality to continue said thing, you're fucked. You're
Yeah.
like, you can't keep that up. Like,
Uh-huh.
I can say to you right now that I have 198,000 followers on TikTok. I also can post a video tomorrow and get less than 200 views. So, like, the way that the algorithm works isn't in your favor if you're not consistent. You know, if
Yeah.
it just happens to pop up and then you're like, oh shit, I don't know what to do with this, I don't have a plan, then you're shit out of luck. You know, you're without a
Right.
paddle.
Yeah, yeah. If anything, the consistency and the repetition is teaching you, I don't think you necessarily want to copy and paste the thing that worked before because it's not going to do the same. It's not going to
Yeah.
ignite like it did before because there were certain factors that made it happen the way it did. But um, you're at least learning something from it to hopefully, the next time you post, you find something that
Yeah.
catches their attention. And it could be, you had a good 2-second hook at the beginning that caught people's attention, or how like Sarah like falling off the wheel, or the pot
Yeah.
falling like pots falling off, and like you find little things to get people's attention and spark. But that's more of like the game of going viral, I guess, less so
Yeah.
than the thread of what do you do on social media and how do you curate it for yourself
Right.
and what you
Yeah.
want to get across to the audience.
Right. And well, and I wanted to add too to my viral sensation of pulling a handle. Um, I was doing consistent posting up until that point, and so it was easy to follow it. You know, it was easy to move it through and create, like, I think at that time it went up to like 50,000 followers. And by the time I had ended, like, left the shop, I was at 200,000 followers. So, like, when you do have that, you know, timeline down in your head already, like of I'm gonna do one every day or I'm gonna do one every other day or whatever, then it's easy. You know, it's easy to continue.
Yeah.
Uh,
Your
but
schedule's
yeah,
kind of already set for you. It's just
yeah,
what are you going to put in that what are you going to put in that time block?
yeah,
And
and like,
scheduling time so you can actually get the content ready, or
right,
think about it ahead of time. And it gives you more creativity of, there's no rules of what you have to do. You can choose to do something for a week and say, this week I'm going to be doing process videos or
yeah,
process shots or whatever.
yeah. And I was lucky in the sense, and I think you're lucky too, in the sense of we do a lot of things. You know, there's like when I was at the store, every day I was doing something different because I had something different to do. And
Pottery helps in that. I mean, a lot of mediums don't have,
yeah,
I mean, there's enough. I
yeah.
think if you look at it in the minutia, you can find interest in a lot of different ways of doing your process.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you could be like ye who shall not be mentioned and do the exact same thing every single day. That
He doesn't
is,
do that anymore.
I wonder why. that is you know, semi-shocking and then build a following that then realizes that they're just watching the same thing every single day, you
Hmm.
know? But that's kind of like a bait and switch situation.
Yeah, I think there's I don't know I don't know if it's toned down a little bit, but it's kind of like I want to be famous, so I get followers so that I get a certain amount of financial support for the items that I produce. But just because they want to follow you doesn't mean they like your work. They could like your personality, or they could think
Yeah.
you're a good content editor, or you know, they want the free content. They don't want to pay for the thing, you know. So
Yeah.
it's not so
Yeah.
linear of like get followers equals success, you know.
Yeah. I'm a personality hire. I'm a personality first, personality first, and then it's like they realize that I have a quality product, you know?
Yeah,
Um, which sometimes they don't have a quality product. I just happen to have one. Um,
right.
luckily.
And then I see like when you come back on there, people are engaging with your shit, you know.
Yeah.
You get a lot of engagement. So,
Well, and
you
that's
know, when you
another
fall off
thing.
for a while, they're like, "Ooh, she's back. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's new?"
And, and that's another thing is that like if you engage with your people in a friendly fashion and form bonds and form like, you know, back and forth between all the people that follow you and you follow them back and stuff like that, you know,
You should be
periodically.
genuine. Don't feel like you're doing it
Yeah,
in
genuine.
a don't, yeah.
Um,
Don't do a follow
then
for follow just so you can.
if you break, you when you come back, it's just like you never left, you know, or maybe it
Yeah.
is, but not really. And that those people will stay with you, you know, and that's
Mhm.
nice.
Absolutely. And we benefit from here as well because we talk on the podcast. People can hear a lot from you, so they can stay updated with what's going on, even if you're not posting on social media.
Yeah. What do you feel about stories? Like, how do you feel stories fit into the social
Mm.
media and like what we're posting and what we're not, and like if that helps, if it doesn't, what do you think?
I mean, I think anything that I'm posting, I'm generally going to be positive. I'm always going to be positive. There's a lot of posting about negativity and things going wrong, and there's so much to complain about. I try to stick to whatever's positive. You know, I've taken breaks here and there as well. Like, you know, I hadn't posted for a few days over the weekend, and I was like on my walk, and I saw, you know, a set of flowers yesterday when I was walking. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
that's nice. Like, I always like to capture little bits of that when I'm walking to give somebody a little, no context to it, just flowers. I like
Just flowers.
the daisies on my walk.
I think that's what's nice about the story, though. It's kind of like a journal, you know?
Yeah, it's just and you can be as you know, some people go in on the stories, like they get personal, they get, you know,
Hmm.
hey, that some people use close friends and they get into stuff that they want to share with like a tight knit group of people, and they get
Yeah.
that engagement, and they, you know, they like the video log a little bit. Some people just, I and I also sometimes like to use it to give like urgent things, like, hey, I'm going to be at this show on this
Yeah.
date, or hey, I got the shop update. You want to like click on this thing, so when you got their attention, you can get them to engage. Or, you know, I don't try to stress too much about this is what I have to post here. I try not to repost a lot of things. Just,
Yeah.
well, I repost things that I care about
Right.
that I think need more attention, but you do it
For
complete. You
me,
repost a lot.
for me, stories is a totally like, for me, stories is fun. Like the page is the business stuff and stories is like for me personally, when I like go look at somebody's stories and they just have business stuff, I'm like, ugh, this is so boring. You know? But if they have funny stuff or like personal stuff or like I saw this flower, I love that. And so, and also I started posting memes probably a year ago, 2 years ago, when I would be like doom scrolling. And I don't know why my page has the best memes, but I get some good fucking
How
videos and memes. I
how
don't know.
many regular viewers do you get to your stories? Because I feel like it
Probably like
really ebbs and
500.
flows with people. You're getting 500?
Mm.
You get a lot. Like if
Is
you
that a
looked at in the
lot?
last 24 hours, do you get 500?
Um,
Because you post a lot of stories. I feel like when I have batches of a lot of stories, I don't, and maybe it's just what people engage with, what people care about.
yeah.
But my regular
Um,
ones are like, if I post a lot, I'll get like a couple hundred.
so to just today I posted one earlier and it was like it's at 68 right now. Um,
What's your like the very first one you had in the last 24 hours? Like the oldest one. So that one's gonna have the most views.
last 24 hours, so that would be like June.
No, just open your stories of what's and
Oh,
then look at which one's the oldest.
that one's 200.
200. Okay.
I haven't been posting. It does matter if you like post a lot. So like, but let me go back in the archives. It'll look like a week ago.
Because it's kind of nice when you take a break from stories and don't post for like a couple days. I think it helps because people are like,
Yeah.
it'll get them back up there. Like I didn't post but once in the last day. I did the push-ups because I was doing my 50 push-ups at the end of the day, and that one's got like almost 900. I never get that many. I always get like 300, 400.
Yeah, so like I'm at like 430 like a week ago, but then it goes down to like 250, 250, 260. So, and it depends. It depends on what I'm posting, like if they're funny, if they have to read them, if they're like, you know, but I don't do those for the views. Like obviously I have no fucking idea what the views are. I do those because the world sucks. And I'm blessed with a really great meme situation.
Do you get a lot of people that comment back and forth about
Oh my God, so many. They're like, I needed this today. Like,
them?
literally all of the like, I wake up to what, 10 messages a day or whatever, and all of them are like the laughy crying face. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it, you know? And I don't know. I think that some people just need it. They just fucking need it, you
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah,
need it.
I think when I'm on I do click through stories for sure. I think that's the first thing I hit when I get up
Yeah.
for the day. I look at the because obviously Instagram is prioritizing which stories you engage with the most, which people you engage with the most, so they're going to prioritize
Yeah.
those first. And you know, you can get through them pretty quick and it's not a big commitment versus like scrolling and everything. So,
Yeah. When I'm working, I basically don't look at Instagram until the end of the day. So I don't
yeah,
have time.
it's already such a distraction that I think picking and choosing how you use it, whether you're, you know, hey, I want to focus on being here as a um contributor more so than a consumer, I think that could affect your relationship with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, like I feel guilty if I'm on there so long. I mean, if I'm especially during the workday, I'll get on there. You know, if I were to look at your videos and I click on a video, I'm sucked in for 20 minutes of other stuff.
Yeah.
That's just the
See, you
start.
have a completely different job than I do, and I have like little fucking bird eyes on me all the time, so I don't get on my phone at all.
Yeah.
So
But do you feel guilty at all if getting on your phone at the end of the day and you're on it for like 2 hours and then after
no,
that you're like, I could have got other things done that I needed to get done?
no, I don't. But I think that I also am not on it as much as I used to be on it, and I also just I feel like I'm doing the world a greater good by sharing these
Well, it gives
memes.
you a purpose of finding the memes because you know people are out there
It does.
wanting it.
It
So,
does. And it's fun. And like, if it wasn't for that, if I was just looking at fucking videos and not sharing them, I would probably feel like garbage. But no, I feel so good about sharing that stuff and it makes me laugh, it makes other people laugh.
mhm,
And that's how I felt about TikTok too. I fucking love TikTok. I think it's so fucking funny. And people are like, it's so terrible. I'm like, God, no. You know what is your best medicine is laughter. And
absolutely, absolutely.
if
It's just
I
how much shit do you have to go through to get to the laughter? But I think if you curate
right,
your feed enough, you can get to the laughter
you
quicker.
can get there pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, and like if I'm laughing for 2 hours, yeah, bring it.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean that's good for the soul for sure.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like I probably I probably feel bad about, you know, not getting work done, but at the same time I already got paid that day, so
Hmm. Yeah, as far as I'm trying to think of determining. I don't. It, have I talked about like the Mug Monday of like why it started or why I keep doing it? I don't know that I need to do a video of this of just a reel on a Monday to be
yeah.
like, hey, this is why I do this in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
But essentially, I started doing it just because I had such a big collection and I wanted
Yeah.
to show it off, get
Yeah.
attention to people that I really like their work. I think they should get more eyeballs on their stuff. And I get to draw them in with, I was really proud of the shelving unit as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it started 2.5 years ago. And
Wow, it's been that long.
I think so, yeah. Every Monday for the last 2.5 years.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
You know, your
even if
whole
I'm
situation where
traveling,
you do something like every week or every day, you need to stop that. It's just making everybody else look
just
bad.
stacking it up, push ups every day, mug every Monday, podcast every Saturday. I'm just going to have every day dedicated to something that's going to
To
be,
something.
you
And
know,
then eventually you can write a book that's just called Every Day.
every day. And stories behind
Oh,
why I started
speaking of
them.
books, this is random, but I'm reading a book right now called Stiff, and it's about cadavers and how they're used
Oh
after
my
they
gosh.
die, and it is so fascinating. So if you are into that kind of shit, you should, it's not gross. If you're into that shit, you should, well, I guess it kind of is, but you should definitely look it up. It's very good, and the person that reads it's really good too. So,
That's for a unique person. I think you've got to.
no, it's not. It's for somebody who's interested in science.
Okay.
Most of it's for science. Like they use cadavers for like plastic surgeons or regular surgeons if they need to like practice without killing somebody. They use them in car crashes to help with
Car
uh
crash dummies, but they
yep.
have dead bodies.
Yeah, so they can see how the bones break and stuff like that. They use it.
That'd be a little woozy for some people, I think.
There's this place in Tennessee that uses
The body
they
farm.
have the body farm where they put the bodies out and see how long it takes them to decay. Cool as shit.
That's like
I
CSI shit.
Yeah. And it's the only place in Tennessee. That's where I want my body to
It's
go.
near Knoxville, right? It's at the University of
Yeah.
Tennessee.
UT, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Is
I
that
learned
where
about that.
Brian is?
He's near Knoxville. Yeah.
Because I
Is
was
he
gonna
going
say, is
out to
he
the
at
body
UT?
farm? No.
Like, I need him to go
No,
out there.
no,
Um,
he's at the community college in near Knoxville.
yeah. Oh, and then like the one that I'm in right now, because she goes through like different sections. The one that I'm in right now is like mortuary school, like
Yeah.
practicing on cadavers and stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. So fucking cool. Anyway, thought I'd
Anyway,
mention that.
back to the Mug Monday. Yeah, so it started, I just wanted to show off the work
The months and yeah.
and it was like it grew into, hey, I just do this every Monday. People look forward to it. People always comment on the mug shelf. So I did a blog post about how to build the mug shelf. So I
Yeah.
always refer people to the blog post. Hey, build your own. It's a good way to build a community of people supporting, even if you don't have handmade mugs. Like, I don't care. It's a work of art
Yeah.
on your wall. Build the thing, put it on your wall, get you
Yeah.
some woodworking skills. It's not that complicated. Um, so many like husbands have made them for their wives and built them, and it looks awesome. So, um, help people build mug shelves, appreciation for handmade, hopefully get their own collections, get attention to new people that they haven't already followed, um, show off my work or my collection, continue like seeking out different people's work to add to it because
Hmm.
I've got to keep some variety. So I did a different mug every single week, I think for like
A
a
year.
year and a half or a year and three
Yeah.
quarters, like straight, no repeats, and kept up with it. So, and then it gives me a way to call out different things. So, like at some points, I did, I really like this handle for this reason, or I really like this decoration for this reason, or this mug is really nice for this other reason. So, kind of gives me a way to just support each other and also build that consistency of like people go and get mugs for their morning coffee. So it's a nice way to start the week.
Did Carlos critiques spur this? I feel like it did, didn't it? It kind of spurred
I
it.
don't know that Carlos Critique's pre predecessor was a
It did
predecessor to
because
it.
Carlos critiques was at your old house.
It was. I mean, I built the mug shelf at my old house. Yeah,
Yeah, but you
maybe
didn't start doing Mugshot Mondays until
the new house,
the new
maybe.
house. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the Carlos Critiques, maybe a little bit.
I feel like I remember that conversation
He
being
was
like,
kind
oh,
of
yeah,
Carlos
yeah,
is my dad. His name's actually Carl, but
yeah.
we call him Carlos.
His name's actually Mike, but like,
Carl Michael. He goes
no,
by
his
Mike.
name's,
He goes by Mike on his side because that's what
yeah.
his brothers and sisters
I
called
thought
him
his
when he
real
was
name
growing
was
up.
Mike Carl, and then he
No,
went
it's
by
Carl
Carl.
Mike. His father's name
Oh,
is
okay.
Carl,
Okay.
so he went by Mike.
Anyway, Carlos.
Carlos, yeah.
He
So
has
he was
some,
critiquing mugs that we had, and he had some like interesting, oh, I really like it because of it's really nice. I like the feel of this or feel of that. It's not very like it's not like an artistic critique that you would be like, I
yeah,
really like
it's
the
an old
feel. It's
man
got good
critique.
balance and it's got a great attention on the foot detail and like
Yeah,
it's just like a raw,
yeah,
dad critique.
yeah,
So yeah, I've just kept up with it, get a lot of appreciation, and then some of those catch fire. Like the first one that caught fire was the one with Sarah from Not Work Related. I think
Sarah.
it hit over 1 million views.
Yeah,
People were oohing and on about the shelf. People criticize the shelf. People criticize the mugs. They say you picked the most boring one. All these things. So I like to think that I'm getting people a lot of attention. I'm getting myself a lot of attention
yeah.
from it, and it's benefiting the community as a whole. Um, yeah, it's fun, and it's not stressful. It's like all I got to do is pick a mug from the shelf, call it
Yeah,
out,
you're gonna have tea anyway.
tag it. Like it's super easy. So building something consistent like that that takes no work. All I got to do is, okay, I'm gonna go on vacation. I got to pre-record 2 of these. It's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it's all about. I think taking that off my brain of okay, what do I post next? It's like, okay, I know every Monday I'm gonna be posting that. So that's done.
I think that like what it really comes down to is kind of the way that we formatted Wheel Talk too, is whatever you do needs to be something that is not so hard that you like dread it every time you do it, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like the way we do Wheel Talk is that we don't edit it. I will edit certain parts if I need to, but it takes me 10 minutes to edit it and upload it. And then Ryan listens to it at midnight and then he tells me um on Friday evening at midnight that something's wrong and then I have to fix it Saturday morning. And I'm just giving him a hard time. That's what happened this week. And but what I'm saying is that we specifically did this so that we didn't have to work as hard and feel like it was work. And I do feel like that's held up,
Yeah.
because
You
even when I'm like, ugh, I have to edit it, I know that it's only going to be 10 minutes. I know that it's going to be quick and dirty. The
yeah,
probably the longest thing will be for it to upload,
right.
and yeah, because I live in 1999. And so if you can find something like that, like Monday, Mug Shelf Monday, um, then I think you're golden. If you can find something that's consistent, yeah, it's gonna feel stupid and fucking weird the first 20 times you do it, but after you start getting something, and don't do it every day, do it once a week, do it twice a week, something that's like
Yeah.
consistent enough for you to figure it out, then yeah, like
Yeah, the Heidi, I'm glad Heidi jumped back on the five
me
things to be happy
too.
about in the stories. Every Monday, like
Best
she's
best thing
flipping through a
ever.
book. It's a roll of the dice. You have no idea what's gonna be. You're gonna have good ones, you're gonna have shit ones. She
And
has a
you can
book,
tell she's just
14,000.
like, this again.
Yeah, the 14,000 things to be happy about. She just flips through a book, randomly picks one.
Marks it off.
and she reads
Yep.
5 of them off every Monday. So start the week off. That's Heidi from Villa Joy. If you don't already know, you should because
It's the
she's been
best
on here so
ever.
much. So,
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't
um,
know who Heidi is, where the hell have you been? Um,
so yeah, just build like it could be a story. It could be, hey, I want to highlight this person. I'm gonna highlight somebody that I've been following, kind of like a maker of the moment. We're highlighting somebody once a week, somebody that you enjoy, or um, this is a new piece that I'm really proud of this week, or
yeah.
something. And it doesn't have to be
I
like for
think
sale. It could just be like, hey, this is a piece that I really like.
Yeah, and I think also if you are in the like the lower ends of not lower ends, but like, you're under 10,000 followers, under 5,000 followers, and you do want more followers, I think the best way you could do that is to do something like your Mugs Mondays, or the Maker of the Moment. Like that creates so much community. And like if you want to go in depth about it, you could be like, this is who I chose this week. This is why I think this is something I like look forward to, like want to do in my future. This is a technique that I really want to learn, blah blah blah. And people they'll like get into that, and that is not only will you probably connect with the maker, but you'll probably connect with people that also have connected with that maker.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, I mean, I would try that first and foremost, something to that, you know.
Yeah, if you like showing, if you like showing process, I know Sarah Anderson used to do the Tip Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember the
Tutorial
name of it.
Tuesday.
Tutorial Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then Henrik
Hope.
from
Tiki
Van Tiki
Tuesday.
who does Tiki Technical Tuesday. And then he
Yep.
does something on Fridays. I think it's like Pua Gotcha Gotcha or something.
Yeah, yeah, those
It's like a
those things.
little
It's like anime shit that we don't know about.
yeah. So I think I've seen other people do like a little, I don't know, just something fun. Something that's fun for you and fun for the audience. And like the Mugshot Monday, I don't record them multiple times. I just record them once. It's raw. I'm not re-recording it. I'm not trying to like, frame it up and make it perfect. Like I'm never usually, that buttoned up with the way I'm filming things anyways. Like I don't think you need to kill yourself to make it perfect. Um, Easiest thing, just start doing something, be consistent with it. And if you miss it, who cares? Like, don't stress about it. I feel like a lot of times we feel guilty about leaving for 2 months and come back, and then we have to explain ourselves. Sorry, I've been gone. Here's my explanation for why I was gone. Like, I don't necessarily think that's necessary, but um, yeah, just like have grace with yourself. Keep it fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be social, but you can
And
also
please don't
choose.
introduce yourself every month.
A lot of new faces around here. Let me reintroduce
A lot
myself.
of new faces. I should probably introduce myself.
I think you should probably just pin that to the top of your feed so if people find
Yeah.
you, they can go see what you're about.
Yeah.
I think it also helps to show your face a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to
I
be all the
agree.
time, but
I
it
agree.
helps people see a human behind a feed.
Yeah.
And
It makes me so sad when somebody doesn't have their face on any of the pictures in their profile. I'm like, just do one. Even Joe has one. Like, even Joe from
Old Forge, he has one
Old
in there.
Forge, he has one.
Really scroll back, huh?
Yeah, you got to go back far.
Yeah.
But like, you got to have at least one.
One thing that I noticed from the Maker of the Moment as well, Jeanette's, you're calling out like, and maybe this is different because I'm on a computer, but just scrolling through a feed of images is also very like
Satisfying.
pleasing and satisfying
Yeah.
and relaxing because a lot of it, I feel personally my stuff's a little overwhelming. I've got like video, mostly reels. So it's nice to just see photos of like beautiful work and
Yeah.
process
Oh,
like Bisqueware. Like I love or not Bisqueware, Greenware. Like I love the look of like leather hard pots or like
yeah.
stacks of Bisqueware on a shelf. Like the beauty of just this is a snapshot into the life that like potters are living, and it's just like nice to get a glimpse.
Yeah. Also, we have to go soon, but also if you are doing a reel, make sure you have a really good cover photo. That is something that I should say too, because then people still see that photo as they scroll down. It doesn't have to apply. It doesn't have to be, it does not have to relate to the video you did, you know,
Yeah.
but just have a good photo, some type of good photo, so it's not just part of your video.
Yeah, I've been toying a little bit. They have a newer, I don't know if it's newer, it's probably like a few months old, but you can actually put text on top of a cover photo image.
Yeah,
So they used to not ha have that, and I was like making stories and capturing it and putting it up. So a lot of times to make it easier for people to find things,
yeah,
I'll put the text on there like how much I sold at the back at our backyard craft show or how many shot glasses can fit in the L&L plug and fire. I don't know if people are scrolling through my feed and clicking on them because I mean, I think that's what it's meant for. It's meant for people that come and find me later that want to see a certain video that catches their attention, but it's not necessarily there for getting people's attention initially because that's not really what they see. They see the first 2 seconds of the video,
yeah,
but it's a nice way for me as well to refer back to, okay, like I did have a video about my sales. Like, where did I have that? And then I can see where it was in my feed easily. So yeah, just play around with it, mix it up. I think, doing some photos there, doing some videos. If you just want to stick to photos, like just stick to photos and like, a
yeah.
lot of people really benefit from the captions. I know Tara and Matt from Pitch Pine, like they do a ton with captions
They write a book.
and like that's like what they're all about. Like they love that. They
Yeah,
they create a whole scene. Like when you look at it, you're just like relaxed from like watching like the videography. And like
yeah,
Matt's a photographer, videographer, so like he's great at that, and Tara's
yeah,
great at that too. But like that's the vibe they're going for. They're creating a vibe and a scene, and like it's just really calming. And I don't know, it doesn't feel, and there's never a thread in their thing about like salesy. It doesn't feel salesy. It's just like, hey, we're storytelling. This is
yeah,
our story. We're at chapter 10 and we're calling this chapter whatever it's called. And that whole restock is themed on that like quote unquote chapter. And they've like built this into their business and their way of doing it. So, it's something that's really unique to them and it creates people like long-lasting customers and just supporters that want to see what you're doing. So,
yeah. All right. We got a skedoodle because you have to go to a movie.
yes, I'm going to see the F1 movie. Vroom vroom.
Yes. Vroom, vroom.
All right, any last words, Becca?
Um, no.
All right. Good luck out there, folks, with your social media. Don't stress too much about it. Um,
Yeah.
if you get burnt out from it, it's all right. Take a break, come back.
Yeah.
People will miss you. You get a little, oh, like I was wondering what you were up to. Happy to see you back. Like, and if you're thinking about somebody on social media too, and you're like, oh, I was thinking about you the other day, like maybe send them a message,
Reach
send them
out
a
to him.
comment, like say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I hope you're doing well. You're building
Yeah.
the community and the positivity. I think a lot of us can use more positivity. So uh I know that, those are kind of the friendships that have I don't know. I think they can be deeper friendships. And then when you get to see one another in person at NCECA or just, you're stopping through a city and you can actually get time with them and share a coffee or
Yeah.
something like
I mean, look at you and Isaac. You're basically married.
all right. There's not too many people I'd drive 10 hours across to the middle of Kansas to go visit, but
No, only his boyfriend.
all
Yeah.
right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Ramachat for
Yep.
joining us. Um,
Yay!
and we'll catch y'all next time.
Yay! Bye!
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.